It's the same way Newton, when he discovered the principles of gravitation, and from Newton's theories, we began to understand that if you know enough about the properties of nature, you can count backwards in time or forwards in time, and if you can follow the laws that are governing the principles of nature, you know exactly where that planet's going to be 10 years from now, or where that conjunction is going to happen 100 years from now, as long as you know the size of the arc and the dimensions of the circle and the properties that govern, the laws that govern that reality. So it's the same way in the great circle of history. If we know something about the laws that are governing the unfolding reality of this circle of events, we can, as the prophets did in the past, look into the future and see where it will culminate. You see, they know the laws that are governing this circle. So they said, at a certain time, when you observe the high holy days, this will happen. And we see it happening. So now we, from that perspective of being able to perceive the present, we can now use the same laws and count backwards in time and see where it all happened. So when we begin to see that this circle all of a sudden comes crashing in on itself 120 Jubilees ago, we now can begin to construct, again, a picture of these epochs. So we say that there has been 40 Jubilees from our time to the time of Christ. There were 40 Jubilees from the time of Christ backwards to the time of Abraham, the Vedic age. And then there were 40 Jubilees, or 1,960 years, from the time of the Vedas, time of Abraham, back to the Garden of Eden. And this number 120 we see constantly revealing itself in the text of the Hebrew Scriptures about Moses being 120 years old, because you see the Torah came to Adam. And so now we see this 120. We see 120 in the story of Noah. We see this number in many, many places. So then all of a sudden, as we read the Torah and we read the Leviticus, where we are commanded to, after we enter into this mystery at the time of Passover, begin the counting. Count the Omer, count the 49s. So as soon as we know that we're supposed to count segments of time in 49s, then we can count from then to here.
How do you know what Jubilee is 49 years?
We're told in the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, it says, from Passover begin to count a period of 7 times 7. Whether it's days or years, you begin to count 49s. And so there's a whole book dedicated to this count called the Book of Jubilees, the book of the divisions of time, that is older than the New Testament, and that the New Testament writers had in their hands. In it, it says that Moses, when he was carried up to the state of divine consciousness, was shown all the divisions of the times from the past to the future. And so Moses, of course, seeing those things, then says, okay, we're going to divide reality into segments of 7s. 7 is the number in which God will reveal the mystery of time.
Why 7?
Well,
it has to do with the zodiac and the 7.
It has to do with the zodiac, but it has to do with the fact that if you take 7 circles and put them together, you see that they all fit tangentially. Tangentially in a perfect circle. 1 circle in the middle, 6 circles, all touching each other and all touching the surface of the center circle. So you see that these geometric diagrams are manifestations of God's divine consciousness.